What'd you notice? Depends on the person, okay?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, you're not really sure. Does anything actually authentic come out of my mouth? Good, Joy. Yeah, Alan?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Okay, good. I want you to try something on. Been trying on a lot of things. Here, consider that in relationships, human beings, we are fundamentally inauthentic. Not a little bit, not kind of, not maybe a little, but fundamentally inauthentic. And being inauthentic isn't bad, by the way. And it's not wrong, being inauthentic. If you're being inauthentic with someone, it doesn't mean you don't love that person. One way to get how inauthentic you are is to notice how much you try to be authentic, or how much you defend you're not inauthentic. People struggle to be authentic. That struggle is evidence for their fundamental inauthenticity. And constantly struggling to be authentic. While we're doing that, you're left at best with the appearance of being authentic, or sincerity, or covering up being inauthentic. So if you're covering up being inauthentic, we call that sincere, being sincere. Okay, you with me?
No.
If you're covering up being inauthentic, we call that being sincere. Okay, so you got to generate this conversation. I know it's late. Okay? Generate. One fundamental way that you are being inauthentic in your relationships is that you're being in order to. In order to make it in the relationship. In order to get by in the relationship. In order to look good. In order to be happy. In order to be loved. Maybe you withhold yourself in order to get out of a relationship. Or maybe you pretend to listen so that there's less fighting. Or maybe you're being more outgoing so the other person doesn't leave you. When you're being some in order to in a relationship, there's just no possibility available. There's no space or room for communication. There's no freedom to be. Begin to get present to how much you're always working on your relationships. You know, how much are we really working on our relationships? Like constantly thinking about them, constantly dealing with something in our relationships. Right? We're always working on them. What are we working on in those relationships? Well, you're working on some in order to. Some in order to have it turn out. No wonder we struggle in our relationships. No wonder we're exhausted. No wonder you're tired right now because the brain doesn't like this conversation. So inside the struggle, there are moments of relief. Consider that at the highest state you have in your inauthentic relationships is relief. And we call that relief love. There's moments of love in your relationships. You know, I love my wife. We didn't argue all day. I spent the whole day with my kids and I didn't have to yell at them one time. Fantastic day. It was fantastic. So consider that you spend your entire relationship trying to change the other person or trying to change yourself in order to make the relationship work. Does everybody see their in order tos in their relationships? Anybody not see any in order tos? And when I say if you don't see it, I really do want you to raise your hand if you're not seeing something. Everybody see in order tos? Yeah, Patty?
So, this is my question. So, you're
Hold on. And did you answer my question?
Yes, I do see them, clearly.
Okay, so I'll let you ask.
Okay, perfect. So if you're not, let's say you're not trying to change somebody, but you're trying to, somebody needs encouragement to go to school, or somebody needs guidance along the way. So is that trying to change them?
I don't know. Who says they need that?
Let's say
No, answer my question. Who says they need that?
they say it.
No, you're just saying that.
No, they say they need it. They say they need to go to school. So I say, okay, go. What have you done?
Okay.
Have you applied? What are you doing to get those steps done?
Good. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong, but is that trying to change somebody?
Oh, they said, I want to go to school. That's support. Now, if they didn't say that, which I think may be the case, not necessarily here, but in other relationships in this room, including my own, if they didn't say that, then that's your concern that you're putting on them, like we were talking about earlier. They need to do this in order to succeed in school.
Because people do want to change in order to please a partner. So
Are you
when
listening to what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So what were you going to say now?
I would say people do want to change to please a partner. So they might be saying, I want to go to school just because it's something that I said is important, Like, go to college.
Well, they may be doing that, but that would be for them to look at. I want you to look at what you're doing here.
I want to understand how much of an impact I have on somebody.
You should ask them. No, really. You should, if you want to know. That's the best way to find out.
Got it.
Yeah, it's good. Good. The biggest inauthenticity that we have is that we have to work to get related. You're already profoundly related to each other and the people in your life. In the seminar, I've said, and it reveals that we are already related. The seminar is built on destroying the myth that you aren't related and that you have to work at getting related. I have to figure out about this guy. I got to ask a bunch about him. I got to go on a date with him. I got to do whatever I got to do in order to get related. No, we're actually already related as human beings. So we're destroying the myth that there's some type of work we have to do to get related. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, can you see the absurdity of working on getting related to your husband? Or the absurdity of working on getting related to your family? Or even the absurdity of working on getting related to people in the seminar? So given that we're already related, everything you do to be related, all that stuff you do to get and be related is inauthentic. You're already related. If you're willing to confront own and be responsible for the fundamental inauthenticity and the impact of that inauthenticity in relationships, then you take your past way of being in your relationships and you put it in the past. The completion of the past opens up the space that we talked about of a new realm of possibility inside of already being related. Then you can create a new context or a new possibility for that relationship. Maybe it's that you're already profoundly related. That there's nothing to do, nowhere to get, nothing you have to do in order to. Try one of those possibilities on. Try on the possibility that you're already related to the person next to you, to the people in the row behind you. You're already related to those people. So I invite you, again, like I said earlier, to discover for yourself that you are actually already related to the people in your life and new people you meet. And there's no inherent work you got to do to get related to those people. And discover the people in your life, really, like we did with Steve. And in your groups, discover those people. In your seminar, discover those people. Take on you haven't been interested. And inside of already being related, take on being interested with those people. Question, Kathy?
What is the definition? Landmark's definition or your?
Can you stand up? Thank you.
I'd like to know how you define related. What does that mean exactly? I may be related to, but I don't know you at all. I mean, I know nothing about you, so please define related.
Well, she can keep it. Keep saying it. Yeah, great. So, what does it mean to you when you are related to someone?
I know them, you know, I interact with them, I have I use the word relationship, you know.
That's good.
I know about them, you know.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to invite you to look at it from this point. That you know them is that you know them. You interact with them is that you interact with them. You're in a relationship with them is that you're in a relationship with them. Can you get that distinction?
Yeah.
So far?
And you can be biologically related, you know, a parent.
Totally, all that, right? Now, related is not any of those.
And that's why I asked for what you meant, because I didn't think it was.
Yeah. So I'm just creating it with you.
Okay.
So, what's the definition of related, like in the dictionary? Can you give it to me? If somebody can beat them to it, you're more than welcome to.
Same family group or type connected?
Connected?
No, belonging to the same family, group, or type. Connected.
Okay, good.
Or,
So, no ors. Belonging to the same family, group, or type, connected. So, as human beings, we're fundamentally connected.
Okay. I'll go along with that.
And that's it. But we act like we're not. We walk around our life like this person, I'm not connected to this person at all.
I get that we're all human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And we're related in that way.
Mhm. Okay.
Anything else?
No? Good.
Yeah. So it's like we're just not, let me Let me see if I want to put it like this. I'm going to leave it with that. Yeah, we're all connected. Does that make it clear for you? I don't know about that. Took you a long time to say yes. Are you looking for a different definition than you're connected to the person next to you, but you act like you have to do something in order to be connected with her, but you're already fundamentally connected to her as a human being? Are you looking for more than that? Or did you just get what I said, like you really actually got it?
I think that depends on if I want more than just to know
That we're both human beings.
To be related?
No, we are human beings, we're all human beings, so in that sense, we're related.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you're saying about relationships, there is something more that you have to do to get to know somebody,
Yeah, well-
to want to be with somebody, to
Totally.
want to have them
Well,
be
yeah,
your
if you want-
friend, your spouse.
If I want to be in a relationship with you, I got to figure out your name and, if
Yeah,
you want to go out on Friday,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's.
I'm saying that we as human beings live fundamentally like we're not related to her. Doesn't mean I'm going to be in a relationship with her.
Okay.
It just means there's a fundamental inauthenticity in how we walk around every day like we're not related to people. And- huh?
Struggling to relate.
Okay, struggling to relate. You get that?
Yes,
Yeah, and then, of course, if you're going to be in a relationship, romantic relationship or something like that, there's some actions you're going to take, but that's a different, I'm not talking about that. But you get that you're fundamentally related.
yes, I guess I'm struggling with the in order to part of it, because if you and I are going to be in a whatever kind of relationship, something more has to
Yeah.
happen other than just, oh, we're two human beings in a
Yes,
room.
I got that, yeah,
Yeah,
I totally got that.
that's-
So just
that's-
think about that. You want to say something?
That is. So, yeah, something more has to happen, but no struggle
You know, Mike?
is necessary. No, we don't have a lot of mics here.
Oh, okay.
So, like, a struggle isn't necessary. So that's where we're heading with this, is that we fundamentally, as human beings, what we all have in common, one of the things we all have in common, is a human condition. Part of our human condition is that we struggle to relate. And it's absurd that we struggle to relate when we actually are already related. You get that? You'll really get it during the assignment you're going to do this week, rather than right here at this moment.
Perfect. All right. To acknowledge both of them. Awesome. I like this co-leading thing. I'll probably invite it back over. Okay, so I'm going to put you in your... Okay, well, hold on. Let me just double check before I say anything else. I am going to go over this assignment before I put you into groups, so that you're clear. Okay, your assignment is assignment 1. Get complete with at least one person on your list. Okay, in that space of completion, you're going to create a new possibility. Enroll that person in your having gotten that possibility. And in addition, enroll at least one other person in your having gotten that possibility that you have invented for yourself in your life. So, what that looks like is, you pick a relationship, you get complete with that person. Inside of us getting complete, I invent a new possibility. And then I go and I share that possibility that I invented inside of getting complete with someone else. Clear? Okay. Assignment 2. Distinguish and write down in your notebook where you are struggling to be related and your in order to's in your primary relationships. In those relationships, if the struggle to be related was gone and you came from already being related, write down new possibilities you could begin to invent for yourself and your life. Okay?